Hey, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? How are you, sir? Yahel?
I'm doing well. Sorry, I'm in the middle of retweeting your tweet. I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Yeah, no, you're not. See, this is what happens when you hit 100,000
Uh,
subscribers. You don't have time for us little guys anymore. You're going through all of your ad sponsorship. You're
uh-huh.
choking
Yeah.
on your fucking muscle cereal or whatever it is, and it's that's what happens. That's what happens.
Yeah, I have changed. I don't talk to my parents anymore. Uh Eye contact I'm not really keen on either, but you know, I'll send you the list after this.
Yeah,
My list of
the ways
no-nos.
I'm now not allowed to address you because
Yeah.
you're of your newfound fame and
You're gonna
everything.
address me as 100K, actually.
Oh man, I gotta adjust the camera a little bit. When's a good enough word? So we have it again, the Philips CDi. I have an original copy of Thunder in Paradise right
It's
here
important.
with the original disc. I'm gonna throw that in now, and I will be using a custom made by the CDI community adapter that allows you to use any USB mouse. This is the one for controllers, which I haven't even tried yet, so I'll do that live. So if I fail, everybody could laugh at me. These all work great though, or the mouse one works great, but it needs its own power. That took me a moment to realize the first time I used it. So I after this stream is over, I'm gonna do a write up of how it went, how I liked the controller adapter, and all the links will be there. But pretty exciting because I did not like any of the controllers I've used, and the mouse was just meh.
Yeah, just remember my people have to approve that write up before you post it. I have people now that I'm a 100K channel, Bob.
Everybody's telling me my mic is only on the left channel. Oh boy. I don't know how to fix that. I apologize. Oh,
That's
man.
really. Oh yeah, it is only on the left channel. That's very weird. I mean, it's fine on Skype, but
Hmm.
not
Okay.
so much on the stream.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me take a moment because I'm sure there's people going to be joining here, and I don't want anybody to miss the excitement. So let me just look real quick on why the hell this could be happening.
Okay. Sega Saturn Share, can you burn CDI games straight to a CDR and play them, or do you need a mod? Yeah, you can just go ahead and burn them as long as you got a good QBin file or ISO or whatever. And yeah, I mean, pretty much every CDI player will play burn discs. Some are a little bit more touchy about it than others.
Yeah.
Um, like my top loader, that one is less likely to play. It'll still play burn disc, but if one of my two are gonna mess up or not play a burn disc, it'll be that one.
Yeah. Sega Saturn Shiro, as soon as you said that, I figured it out as well. I guess you could set the mic to mono, so it probably is working on both channels. Thank you. Thank you for showing up, too. Awesome group of people. I'm very happy to be hanging out with these days, virtually, but it's good enough with everything locking down. And yeah, so the only thing that I'm having a problem with is after the game's over, I was going to check out a few others, and I wanted to play Lucky Luke. Somebody said Christmas Crisis was a good game, and of course Mutant Rampage, Body Slam. But I can't find when I burned Christmas Crisis and Lucky Luke, they were treated as CDs. They didn't burn properly. I'm not
Hmm,
really sure what the heck's going on. So if
it's
anybody
weird.
has like absolutely known good ISOs they'd be willing to share, I promise I won't call the ROM police on you because I just want to try to get this working. And
Yeah, I wish I could help you, but I it's been so long since like now I have a pretty embarrassingly large collection of actual real um CD legit CDI discs, so I don't really have to burn too many. And the ones that I don't have that I did want burned, I burned them like two computers ago, so I don't even remember. I want to say I used Disk Juggler to burn them,
um,
but
yeah, so, I tried all the other ones, and I do have a very like strict thing about if I like a game, I will buy it.
yeah,
Proof.
same.
Absolute proof. Actually, thanks to 77 for selling me this. Really appreciate that. Gave me a very good price. Threw a little more for shipping. But I don't like I know people disagree and people might get mad at me for saying this, but I don't want to drop a lot of money on a game if I have no idea if it sucks or not. So that's why I just, Lucky Luke, Christmas Crisis, Mutant Rampage, Body Slam.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're good
and
games, but
these people aren't making any more money off these CDI games, anyways. You're not stealing from anyone here.
that's definitely my opinion on all this stuff. But I guess we shall see. We shall see. So, um,
You got a super chat here.
oh, already? Holy crap! The Can we all agree that CDI fans need to seek help? I mean, we are. That's why we're here together. We're writing this out together.
I like how you started the stream by saying this is how much you've grown and changed, Bob, in terms of you and the CDI, because you started off the stream and you said the words the CDI community without a hint of irony in your voice. It was just it's a
Well,
thing.
I mean, so the reason I'm tempering my ironic snipes is because I always knew the CDI had an awesome community behind it. By the way, I have no idea what line this was. It was just in the drawer or in the cabinet. And I'm on their Discord all the time, and they're excellent people to work with. So what I'm really saying when I'm mocking the CDI community is I'm mocking you. So,
Bob, I have to bring it to you. You're like part of the CDI community. This is what, your
course
third
I am.
CDI?
Of course I am.
You may not have wanted to, but like it's you're part of the cult now. You're our lowest ranking member just based on your efforts and love, but
I'm the highest
you're in
ranking
there.
member based on how much I weigh. So there you go.
Oh, well, okay, fair enough.
Shrek Boy in the chat am I really an admin on the console modding Discord server? Yeah, that might be the RetroRGB wiki. We're working on that. We need people, we need help, we need time. But yeah, but that might actually be the wiki. And I hope it is. But there, no disrespect to anybody running it. It's just one of these things where it's such a massive project. We gotta feel our way through it to see. But yeah, looking good. So, all right. I have wine. I don't have a robe this time because it's so fucking cold here. I can't even begin to describe. Like the breeze that's in here, you might as well have a window open. I need to re-weather stripping everything in my house. So instead, I have a fuzzy bear hoodie on. I like.
You do look very comfortable.
I am comfy. This is so nice. I got my fuzzy bear slippers. I got fuzzy bear boxers on too, but I'm sure you guys don't want proof.
Nah.
So,
Josh Malone said this is not a live stream; it's a support group.
Awesome.
You're banned, sir. You're banned.
All right. Let me. I just tried another burn of Christmas Crisis, so we'll try that afterwards, of course. If I don't do this right now, I will immediately forget which game is which. And yeah, okay. So we have a bunch of CDRs that may or may not work after this. But are we ready? Are we ready?
I'm always ready for some Thunder in Paradise.
All right. I'm going to start with the volume down a little bit, and then please, everybody just tell me if it needs to go back up. And I also need to set that to hear through so I can hear the audio.
Yeah, you don't want to miss any of these cutscenes. Now, this CDI that you're playing, that you're using, is not modded, right? In any way, this
Correct.
time.
I don't have the audio plugged in. Hold on a minute. Always fucking.
What an amateur! What an amateur, folks.
Oh, jeez, fucking CDI. Oh, but wait, no, we can't. I can't have this opening be cut. What are we doing here? I can't. No, hold on. Now we have to reset this. Just give me 1 second.
Aaron Welsh, should I start collecting sealed and slab CDI games? Yes, or DCI games. I'm assuming you meant CDI. A-Track, I can't afford to keep up with CDI preservation. Well, I mean, some of the games are inexpensive. It's the hardware itself, the consoles can be still pretty pricey, especially if you get the digital video cartridge, which you'll need for the better games such as Thunder in Paradise that we're about to play. So yeah, I mean, the hardware is pricey, but then the games are, with some exceptions, not generally super expensive. And because you can burn them and the ROMs are like very easy to find. It's really not that expensive once you have the hardware. The controllers, the gamepads can be a bit pricey, but I know you're using this adapter that it's for any USB mouse, right?
Yeah.
And like I have an adapter for Super Nintendo to a Super Nintendo CDi adapter. It doesn't work with the SNES mouse, but did you see that there's a guy now that's making a new set fresh of SNES to CDI adapters though?
I did actually. That seems very cool. Is the audio coming out for people in the chat here? Because I actually am not.
Yeah. It's in the stream. Oh, your pass-through is not working?
Yeah, I mean, it should be pretty...
Just keep reading through the chat while you're dealing with that. Wait, I was reading somebody wrote, Timothy Roller wrote that I don't know who they is because I can't find the original thread, beginning of this thread, but they had a competition where if you sold 5 CDIs, you got one as a reward. I sold 5, came in the next day to pick mine up, and they told me somebody had returned one. So wait, you didn't get yours, I guess?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Should have had somebody come in and buy the CDI, then I guess at that point that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
So I guess I can't hear the audio, but I've played this game before, so I think we could do this without it.
That sucks.
I would have to reset OBS, I think, which I can't do without killing the stream. So,
yeah, I mean, I'll be happy to tell you what's going on if anything. I'll be happy to fill in the blanks here.
Yeah, I remember this very clearly, and it's, in fact, to be honest, all kidding aside, the only part I don't like about the game is the opening like boat thing
level.
So,
yeah,
but I mean, of all the complaints to have, who cares, right?
Well, I've never timed it, but I think it goes on for like 15 minutes or something. Like it's, or at least it feels like it goes on for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what's funny though is the opening stage. So actually, for people that don't know, I mean, I would hope everybody knows this. Thunder in Paradise was a TV show in the 90s. It ran for a season. I think it was on TNT or TBS. And yeah, this is what the game is based off of. These are real characters. And I don't know if yours came with it, but this is a 2-disc set. And the second disc is an exclusive episode of Thunder in Paradise they made just for the CDI.
It's the same thing though, right?
I've never watched the episode, but Ian has, and he told me that it is like basically based on this. Okay. But the really funny thing, Bob, is that Ian actually just like literally streamed the episode one night, and he didn't get copyright flagged, nothing. So I don't know if the license holders are so embarrassed by it or no one wants to claim it.
That's amazing. I think I've already laid this enough, so I think I have an idea where I might actually be able to pipe the audio in by only adding one extra plug.
Just gonna split it or something?
Yeah, and run it through my audio interface. It would be very funny if the whole stream just shut off as soon as I plug this in, though.
Yeah, appreciate you guys for sticking by. This is worth it after the boring first level that may or may not last 15 minutes.
Wow, okay. Well, that's some shit. All right, let me... so we want game only, right? We don't want interactive television.
No. You want interactive television.
Okay.
Game only, as they were... So the very opening scene, they basically explain, game only, you only play, like, the gameplay elements. The show, I guess... I've never done show only, but I guess you just watch just the cutscenes.
And it probably says just go to disc 2 or something. Go only. All right, interactive television. I believe there's a way... All right, other, but there's a way to calibrate here, too, right?
Yeah, so when I use the mouse, I always do other and medium, but you do you.
Oh, no, I'm doing fast. I might be large, but I'm speedy.
I just remember it, at least with my mouse, being a little too sensitive. But that could have been my mouse.
Mighty Squirrel wouldn't be a proper stream without tech issues. That's so funny because you're so right. And the funniest part for me is I have so many professional streamer friends that I'm sure when they watch these, they're just like, oh, fucking Bob, are you serious? I could have set that up for you in 5 seconds. So one of the problems and one of the things I'm trying to make videos on is that I have one computer that does like 7 things, and I'm considering making just a streaming PC or just a streaming virtual machine on the PC, so that to really severely cut down on on these things.
I think you probably want to turn the game audio up a little bit. Can't miss the thespian Terrabolea here.
Dante 24 used to watch the show when they were a kid brother. Complete poop. I don't know. For the time when you were a kid, it was just as dumb as you wanted it to.
Yeah.
The major is open for uplink. Begin imaging.
Oh no, Hulkster. Are you okay?
This is like such a ridiculous like plot too.
Yeah.
So like there were all those sparks and explosions going on behind Hulk, but he like didn't even react really. He just like lightly shook.
Before we leave, how's your throat?
No problem. Uncle Spence, take me with you.
No, you stay here.
Uncle Spence, please, I'm the only one who can override the Major's priority orders. How? How? With the Neuralink, all we have to do is use these soft guns to complete the Major's auto defense.
Why is this kid with them, Bob?
And with the Neuralink, I can sometimes see what the Major sees to find out where he's at.
I love that haircut. Looks like it's one solid mass.
Yeah. It's very uneven, too.
I love that it's a stealth boat. So, like, radar can't detect it, but the giant wake that it leaves behind, you just see the airplane.
The Major's following procedure. One of his directives is to destroy the enemy, but this is overkill.
Under. Activate shields. Shields activated. Creating matrix for total aggregate immunity.
Oh, here we go. Favorite part.
But you know, this is like, even though this first level is like boring and it goes on way too long, it actually like at least has some strategy you have to like employ. You know, because you have to like choose like which missiles you're going to use and which side of the boat you're going to defend.
That's the case. There's no way we can fire the missiles and keep the drones at bay.
Yeah, RetroTech, he was on step by step.
I can monitor, lock, and destroy incoming weaponry.
So I have the CDI going into the RetroTink 5X via S-Video, but I also plugged a composite cable into a 13-inch CRT, the one from the thumbnail. And I am just, I love that this is the perfect scenario for a composite on a CRT, but I'm so impressed at how the RetroTink 5X is making this look.
But I gotta tell you, Bob, I mean, like, before I got a RetroTink, I was using, when I first started streaming the CDI, like, just like some, you know, real shitty, like, Amazon converter little thing, you know, that cost like $10. And it pretty much looked like this too, man. Like, for, you know, it's pretty decent composite that comes out of the CDIs.
So
Especially
how do
these
I
games.
turn left and right again?
So the right mouse button, see how it changes on the radar?
Oh, okay.
And then on the radar, depending on which part of the radar you fire, like you can point at those dots on the radar and fire your long-range weapons. So yeah, see how that changes? So like close is the, I can't remember what it's called, but I want to say maybe it's the Q thing, and then the other ones are like the long-range missiles, the LRM. Actually, one of them is the EPC. Like that's your regular weapon. But yeah, and then this level also is like the one in the game that has no impact on what ending you'll get.
Oh, now that's good use of weapons. Keep it up.
I got hit. What do you mean that's good use of weapons?
You know, he's got a concussion from earlier from the end. Dude. You can't fault him too much. I always say it, like these like green vessels that fly around, they look like they're rip off of like Star Trek, like Vulcans or Romulan, yeah, like Romulan ships or something, or Klingons.
They absolutely look like a Romulan ship, 100%.
Yeah, and then this is one of those games too where like you have to like shoot stuff not where it is, but where it's gonna be.
Yeah. This new mouse is awesome though. I absolutely love it.
So that's cool, man. So you're just using like a regular USB mouse.
I could have used the wireless, but I just for this stream I was like, just how many more things could go wrong, so I used just a basic
Right.
Logitech.
Look, you're right.
Shooting more than you, asshole.
Can't trust his judgment, man. He's the one bringing along a 13-year-old, letting him do all the shooting and killing and shit. Yeah, man, you should use some of your long-range weapons, man. You're not even using them.
How do you use them again?
So you click like that black dot on the radar. If you like click on the black dot, it'll shoot one of your long-range missiles at it. So you can like click on, you know, a bunch of dots, and like if they're within the circle that's closest to Thunder on the radar, that'll use one of the Q things, which you only get 5 of, but I think it destroys all enemies on that side that are like in that little range. Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier, where like it actually like this is the one level that really requires like you to employ a little bit of strategy.
Back door, kid. The back door.
Oh, that's dirty, buddy. He's 13 years old. What the fuck are you doing?
What do you say? I can't hear
back
this guy.
door, back door.
Oh yeah. JT from Step by Step knew what he was getting into. He knew about the pitfalls of this
I mean,
industry.
look what he's wearing. He was asking for it.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, with that trapezoid haircut, I mean, come on.
Still don't know what those ball thingies are, the spikes.
Oh, you know what's really fucked up is that after you play this level, you get to like see Thunder's computer systems, and in there's like a library of the enemies that you fought on this level, but you never fight them again. So it's like telling you their weaknesses and, you know, all that kind of crap, but you never fight them again. So why even bother telling you about it? Luby94, this is real hardware. The FMV does look surprisingly clear to you because you don't know about the power, the majesty, the unbridled magic, the, dare I say, Bob, the virile fertility of the Philips CDi.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, the CDi is an FMV powerhouse. Like, video on it looks good. Rasta Jedi, this is not modded. There's no RGB mod in this CDi. The last time Bob did it, there was he was using an RGB mod. So yeah, this is just a stock CDi. Now it is running through a RetroTink 5X, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So obviously that's going to
under just so it fits the fit the template nice.
Yeah. So obviously I mean that's going to basically be your best, you know, best way to get like a good picture without modding it. But you're doing pretty good so far, Bob, but there are 32 more minutes of this to go, so... But your shields are alright.
Zach, got bogeys on your tail.
Hey,
Last time we
Nicole's here.
played...
What's up?
Last time we played, the game, like, died, right? Like, it crashed or something.
Yes. And no, and I think it was because the link switch was just going down, so I just jammed a little bit of gum or tape or something.
Right. I'm gonna grab another beer and see what this sounds like.
Lord. What the hell is that thing? Hey, what were those Borg cubes spinning around?
Oh, I don't know. That's what I was calling them too, but I've never read all like the little like fact file things, but maybe those are the drones. Oh, I see your shields have your shield situation isn't quite as good as it was earlier. Yeah, Luby 94. The shields around Thunder are you can see like they're yellow right now, and eventually they'll start to get red, and then I think they just disappear. See on the radar.
I like how I have no guns left, but if I keep shooting, like, oh, they replenish?
Yeah. That's like your unlimited regular fire thing. I believe, though, the more damaged you are, the slower they replenish. So the actor that plays Hulk Hogan's buddy there, Chris Lemon, did I tell you that Ian and I found out that he, Historic Nerd and I found out that he has a one-man show called like a Twist of Lemon or something like that? Yeah. All right, I think. All right, it's all right. It's all right.
Shooting Ace. This is Foster's big time.
Wait a minute, I'm getting a heartbeat here.
Who's getting a running rope kicking into hyperspeed? We gotta beat the major.
This is like the one thing that you can mess up and still get a good ending.
Russ Drive, a DTA, 15 minutes.
I think Historic Nerd and I have found 3, maybe 4 different endings.
I can hack into the main memory of Dr. Franklin's central processor. Maybe we can figure out where the major wag go. Security camera short-circuited a few hours ago. Let's see what was going on right before that. Thunder, bring up full telecom.
Video problem on view screen.
What are you doing in my lab? Who are you? Dr. Franklin. After all, you made what I am today. I don't know you. Darius Rampike.
Darius Rampike. You know who he is?
Ah, I never heard of him. Why? What's going on?
That's the nation you never give me a hand.
God, it's Dr. Franklin. We gotta do something.
Redline's bad company. I'll bet that face appliance must be hell on metal detectors. Now what do you want to do?
So bad. Windows 3.11 for workgroups coming online. All right.
So did you want to go through? There are like a couple like dumb
we did this
fun
last
videos.
time, but I feel like
Oh,
we need
did
to
we?
do
Okay.
it again. We need to do it again, just a little bit. So what should we?
I think if you go to lab database, I want to say that in here we can find Spencer's neural tapes. Yep. So basically, for those that missed it in the beginning, Hulk Hogan's character, his memories are being downloaded into this android, and I guess it's supposed to give the android his sense of like what to do, like right and wrong. And Anyways, I guess Spencer's neural tapes is supposed to be like what was sent to the android.
Uh, Ian, wait, his thing just where'd that go? Oh, damn it, I missed it. Well, Ian made a joke about 300-mile-an-hour jet boat, but you're just turning the wheel back and forth. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I would play Spencer's neural tapes. Like, it's pretty short and it's pretty ridiculous.
Oh, that was Timothy. I think my chat scrolled up and I blended them together. But yeah, that's pretty funny. Spence's neural tapes.
Mm-hmm. Hulk Hogan's beautiful memories.
So it's the opening.
No, so I mean that's what they're using, but like this is supposed to be what was being put into the Android. So yeah, real weird.
All right. Security
Yeah, the
camera?
only other
Anything in that?
I think it's just showing you something else from the lab with like their female assistant. Just more lore, I believe.
Why did you give the Major a new priority order? You're supposed to set up the neural links so that we take control.
I have nothing to do with that order.
Engagement to him.
Weird. It's almost as if he created his own priority order.
Is that possible?
All new technology, anything's possible.
We can't let the Major do our fingers.
Relax. He's on his way to this Caribbean island, owned by a man named Rossiter for some reason, and he's after this little girl, Jessica.
He's going after Jess.
That's good. We'll use her for bait.
By the way, Ian, if you're here, if you have an ISO of Lucky
Farm
Loop,
after all.
let me know. Ping me up on Discord or something. I want to try that out afterwards.
Um,
I couldn't burn mine. All of them, like the burns didn't work. When you put the CD in the CDi, it just does nothing. It treats it like an audio CD.
so then if you go back to Thunder database, the only other thing was the beach scene. I don't know if you, with all those women, I don't know if you want to play that, the Rossiter Island download.
Just to celebrate the ridiculousness of the 90s.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
I mean, remember, this is a low-rent Baywatch. And
Yep.
that was the biggest TV show on the planet at that time.
Well, this is made by the producers of Baywatch.
Yeah,
They
obviously.
created the show.
It's like when you're watching a football game and it's approaching the playoffs and the team's winning 50-0, and they send in their third string, and they let a couple of touchdowns slip by, and the score gets close, but not really because you can put your first string back in at any time. That's kind of what this is. It's like Baywatch's third string getting some practice.
Yeah. So I think the chat is saying, and I thought I had heard this earlier too when I checked in on the stream, that the game audio, I think, is echoing. I think it's doubled.
Sorry, it's probably the thing that I poked through.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I mean, I could still like understand what everybody was saying, like the cutscenes.
Yeah, I turned it down, so let me know. Let me know if it's still echoing. But Shadow Mask went to school with a kid who dated Brooke Hogan and worked out with the Hulk on an episode of that show. The guy's name was Jerry Reed. There was one like reality TV show with them or something, right? And I remember.
Yeah, Hogan knows best.
Yeah, like a 25-year-old guy went to pick up 16-year-old Brooke, and like Hulk was like, "Should I answer the door like this?" I thought it was the funniest fucking thing on the planet. All right, exit database.
Yeah. There's nothing. The other stuff is like the enemies you just fought and blah blah blah.
I'm with you, kid. It's time to go
I'm
get
with you,
Jessica.
kid. I remember that even without being able to hear it.
Yeah, please let me know if the dialogue's still echoing too much.
Where's the waypoint we saw in the photographs?
Okay, kid. Ready to earn your lunch money?
Reminds me of me when I was his age. You got that thing on? Let's jet. What is it?
Yeah, the audio seems better.
I'm picking up a flash. He's really close to Jessica, and Rampike's men are all over the place.
That's what I was afraid of. We're short on time. We'll go that way, you go this way. Find the major. You got one shot, so make it count. Move! Let's do it.
Hey, Trash Uncle's here. What's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. He's the one that's been providing us with some badass Mr. CRT overlays that actually really make it feel like a CRT.
Nice. Yeah, Timothy Roller, they did give the kid a gun. They're sending him to risk his life. Not sure what Hulk Hogan and his buddy are. Oh, that's what Hulk Hogan's doing. He's fighting this guy just far enough away to not be recognizable.
Low rent Kano.
Yep.
Nicole, you got one shot to make it count. Move.
This is Kano's origin story, actually.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, that's right.
Oh, maybe fast just means the enemies are fast, because they seem to like. I was popping out pretty fast.
Good. Keep me on my toes. I won't be able to look at the chat at all though, because this intense experience here. So please.
Oh yeah, they're popping out fast as hell.
Yeah, baby, that's how I roll.
Oh fuck! So this is basically like the hard mode. I didn't realize that that's what that did. I guess by the time Ian and I get to Thunder in Paradise on our CDI streams, we're so drunk that we can't really tell. Shadow Mask did say that you are quieter than me, and that's what people were also saying.
I think people would prefer that.
Yeah, you're going to be too engulfed in this game anyway.
What's funny too is when I turn myself up, I hear myself clipping, but when I've tried this before and I've recorded and played back, it didn't clip.
It sounds fine, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, this game changes where it stops every time you play it. So it'll stop randomly, and the number of enemies that come out and where they come out of is also randomly generated. So the game's different every time. And Historic Note and I have played this between us like at least 100 times, and pretty much every time we play, we're still like finding it like that it stops at a new place or does something that it didn't do before. So there's as far as FMV games go, this has like decent replay value. There's multiple endings, lots of cutscenes that play randomly depending on how you're doing, that we're still occasionally coming across new ones.
Somebody in the chat said that the game audio is too low. There's really nothing going on now. You just hear the shooting, but if you want me to turn it up, obviously I'll just gladly turn that up next scene.
Yeah, there's no music or anything right now. There's just like, I think like
Bad
nature noises.
When I shoot, nature noises,
yeah. Yeah.
So no need for a Thunder in Paradise randomizer. No, Nicole, but if you'd like to do a ROM hack and improve on that whole shooting scene in the beginning, the entire CDI community, all 7 of us, would be forever indebted to you.
This ain't no video game, kid.
Yes, it is, Hulk.
Shoot from all sides.
I don't see you shooting anybody. Having me become a fucking murderer.
So in the chat, I see some people are asking about where this was filmed or trying to figure it out. This was filmed at it's now called like Disney Hollywood, I think, Studios or something like that. Or it used to be called like Disney MGM Studios when it was filmed there. I don't know what they call it now, but it's in Orlando. And it's where they filmed Thunder in Paradise. So Ex-Suicide Zoman said, honestly, I was kind of surprised at how big the CDI community actually is. What's funny is that guy making those SNES to CDI adapters, he was also surprised because like he thought like, I guess it was going to be hard to find people to like test the ones that he made, and he was like overwhelmed with responses.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. The other thing too is we went over this during the last stream, but my buddy Dave, who I think I saw was in the chat tonight, he let me borrow his CDi gun, which is essentially a mouse with like IR centering. So it's a terrible experience. And we tried a controller.
But it does work on modern TVs.
Because it's a mouse, so yeah. But this with the mouse right here is actually it's just like a shooter on your computer. And I really genuinely think this is the best console full motion video game I've ever played. And I'm not saying that because you're on the stream today. I honestly, this is, the best FMV. Night Trap I love because of how amazing and cheesy and iconic it is, how it changed gaming, but it's not a fun game anymore. It was in the 90s when that was such an incredible thing to have access to, but not today. Whereas I'm having fun shooting these guys in the balls, and they all turn blue.
Yeah, this is like a fun game. Not a crazy amount of challenge, but like the cutscenes are fun. It's like a fun game to play with, like, when you're hanging out with people or on a stream or whatever. Shit, they fucked you here. Yeah. And that's the nice thing too, unlike, like shooters like the ones that American Laser Games made, where it was the same guys popping out of the same spots, like in the same order every time. Here, you get 3 people popping out at once sometimes.
Yeah, a real light gun would have been nice here, not the mouse one. Hey, Smoke's here. What's up, man? Good to see you.
Hey, Smoke Monster.
Maybe one day we'll get to play this game on Mister. I would love that. Or like a remastered version on PC, I would love too.
Yeah.
If somebody could find the original 480i footage before it was down converted to 240p, that could be upscaled.
Yeah, it'd be nice though to get like a, I know there's some CDI emulation stuff out there, but it's not. There's a lot of compatibility issues still with it, and just be nice to get like a Mr. Core or something that was I would assume that like at least to get like the base CDI games going, it's not that hard. It's a 68K processor, so.
I'm only speculating, right? But I think that the reason they haven't even tried is because the moment they do, everybody's going to be like, that's great, but why can't we play the MPEG module game? So
right, because that seems to be.
I wouldn't do it either at the moment. I'd wait till that was done first.
Yeah, so I know that for the guy that made like the main CDI emulator, CDI EMU, like the compatibility with the video cartridge is like not super great, and it seems to be like the toughest thing to nail down.
Do you think I'll get extra points if I just continuously shoot him in the balls?
Sure. I like his little spin. By the way, can we talk about how this? I guess like Hulk Hogan and the scientists invented teleportation technology.
I mean, Hulkamania runs wild through everything. What can I say?
So if you hadn't he's kind of like a mini boss. If he beats you during this part, you have to continue. You get like different cutscene, and Hulk Hogan and his buddy are shitting on you, but also, you continue playing the game as JT, and now you're gonna get to play as the android.
Kelly, where's Jessica?
We tried to stop him, but he took her.
Who is he?
This big guy, ugly.
He had a face that was half covered with metal.
How's the game audio? Does everybody want me to turn it up before I get back to my intense shooting?
Airlock sealed. That should keep the Major on ice till we get to the lab.
Well, what do we do when we get there?
I've reworked your Neuralink antenna to give you more range. You'll be on Thunder controlling the Major as he fights in the lab. Now that's firepower, little brother.
Awesome.
You did real good today. Now let's go get Jessica and feed Rampike to the Gators.
Done deal, brother.
ROC for hyperspeed on my mark.
I gotta say, this is not the worst acting I've seen from Hulk Hogan.
True.
I mean, not a lot's being required either, but
What's the best way in this place?
So Justin Bernier said, well, actually, let me wait for this cutscene.
By the catwalks or through a tunnel that leads us through the turbine room.
We'll go through the tunnels. Direct the Major to the catwalks. Then use him to take care of Rampike's men.
Complete neural link control lock on Major established. Video comm link on view screen.
Brew and I are in position. I'll keep checking in with you. Rock and roll, Major.
Switching to neural link view.
So Justin Bernier had said the Philips CDi would be a great console for an ODE. It's my only disc-based console with that one. Also, Lucky Luke ISOs you find online never run.
There have been people talking about trying to figure out ODEs for this for a while, but I'm just such a fan of ODEs for so many freaking reasons. I mean, if we had an ODE the last time, I would have been able to finish the stream.
Right. Yeah, I just don't know how big of a market there is.
Yeah, but, I think within reason, if you're going to sell a smaller quantity, you just raise the price. No one's going to buy a $500 ODE for the CDI, but you don't have to push to make it a $99 thing. You could take some time and charge a little bit more.
Yeah. I agree. And folks in the CDI community, I mean, they'd be down to pay, whatever. I mean, they already paid a lot of money for this console. And pretty much everybody has also gotten the video cartridge, which these days, man, the video cartridge I've seen run for as much as a CDI console.
Yeah, I'll try to pronounce that name in the chat. Kudenbertrung?
Oh, Kudenbertrung? Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Well, I'm not wearing a robe because it's freaking cold in here, but cheers to you. I am drinking wine. It's a CDI stream. What kind of fucking low-rent stream you think this would be if I wasn't drinking wine?
Joey Gasha said, honestly, this is the most fun I've had C/O CDI, because of the CDI, I guess.
The CDI, yeah.
Backstreet's back all right said if the FM Towns gets an ODE, so should the CDI. The CDI should go in way before that. But there is an ODE for the FM Towns body. That's what Aaron Walsh was saying.
There is, but I think it's from that guy that makes you give your DNA sample if you want to buy one, and then you have to be awake between 3 and 3:01 a.m. on a Tuesday in order to buy it. So no one cares.
The person whose name we could not pronounce said Kunden is all right. Awesome. Cheers, guys.
Well, Kunden, I try my best to always get everybody's name right, but I never do. But I make the effort.
Oh, Fraggle Rock. He's the one making the SNES to CDI adapters, and he said, gotta say, this is the first CDI stream I have seen, and honestly, the first CDI gameplay I have ever seen. Oh, so you don't own a CDI, you're just making the adapter.
Hey, well,
that's why you need people to test it. That makes sense.
Once it's tested and once they're for sale, please let me know, Fraggle. I'll write it up.
Yeah, and I'll be happy to push it out as.
You're pretty handy with that soft gun, kid.
I think the person making these as well. I think they'd be happy to share the market because I think he hand makes these as needed. So I think that's why he hasn't opened up sales yet. So it's one of those I think if I wrote a post and said everybody to go buy it, he'd be like, it's too much to handle.
Please don't. Don't.
There's more than enough room in the CDI community for more than one things. No, not a CDI ODE, a FM Towns Marty one.
Yes, Mr. Sideface, it is 68K based. But as Bob was alluding to earlier, there is the video cartridge add-on. That has its own 32-bit RISC and its own additional video RAM. So it adds a layer of complication.
Fraggle even open sourced it. I didn't realize that. Thank you. Let's hope Piperkin doesn't steal it. Kidding.
Yeah, something tells me the CDI is not on their radar.
I mean, honestly, I think it depends on what branch of them you're talking to, because I think there's a bunch of huge game fans that work there that would love to do something like that, but they have to battle their bosses to be like, why are we manufacturing something that's going to be sold in hundreds, not tens of thousands?
Right. Luby94 said, imagine if Analog released an FPGA CDI.
Yeah, but first they would tease an announcement, and then they would have an announcement for an announcement, and then that announcement would be a pre-order for something that you might not get ever. So yeah, I don't know. I'd rather just wait for the Mr. Core or PC remastered version.
Yeah, it like I don't have any like Mr. devices or whatever, but like if a CDI core came out, I would definitely then invest in one.
You don't have any Mr. stuff?
No.
Oh, I gotta talk to you afterwards. You gotta get one.
Just seems like I don't know. I already have like ways to like play everything. And...
I know you like to be an elitist cunt about everything, but it's absolutely something that you need.
That's not true. Like, dude, when I'm like playing like streaming like 16-bit stuff and like even 32-bit stuff or like even Dreamcast stuff, I'll just emulate it, like just because it's more convenient. But you know, if I'm playing like my TV or whatever, yeah, I'd rather use.
All kidding aside, there are actually a couple reasons why you'd probably want a Mister at some point soon. I love that car, by the way. I used to have one of those, a T-Top 79 Camaro. I actually think that's a 78, but whatever. I had a white one with some god-awful colored stripes, like brown stripes or something. Love those cars. They're such pieces of junk. Like, I'm not at all going to pretend that that's like a classic American muscle car. It's just, I had one in 98 and I loved it, so whatever.
Smoke Monster's got an idea here. He said maybe you could connect a hive of Misters and harness their collective power for CDI.
Might be powerful enough then.
Might. So yeah, and then in this game, like the gun is kind of like your life bar. I'm sure you've figured that out by now.
Timothy Roller did have the Firebird on it. Those are Firebirds, not Camaros. Why do they call them Firebirds? Very close car, though. I mean, it's pretty much the same car with a different nose, some different ground effects. I'm just being silly. I had one of those, too, but it was basically falling apart, held together by Bondo. I traded it for, I don't know, like a video game or something, and I was going to plan on restoring it, and then somebody ended up, I had to get rid of it before I even ended up doing work to it. I drove it for a couple days. It caught fire while I was driving it. Like,
damn.
It died. And then I pulled over to the side of the road, and a friend of mine, we were all like heading somewhere, and I had jumper cables because, of course, and somebody pulled up, jumped me, and then the alternator had completely died, so it was just running on compression. But because of that, it was basically shooting chunks of metal out the exhaust, and the bottom of it kind of like this glowing red. And my friend behind me is beeping, and she's like,
warm-up is over,
Bobby, your car. I'm like, I know, it's as fast as it's going. I'm limping it home. We're only like a mile away. She's like, no, fire. Your car is on fire. I'm laughing so hard.
Yeah, Lovey94. See, you were talking about how you looked into CDI emulators. Yeah, there really isn't any great alternative. CDI EMU has the most compatibility, but it's hard to get like the full version, and you won't be able to really. I think there's only like a few video cartridge games that you can even play on it. So yeah, I can't really recommend anything. The only game I ever got to run on it was Hotel Mario, and it ran like at like a quarter of the speed.
How thoughtful. You brought me the Major. I'll take it from here. Come and get it, scrap face.
JT is such a badass. So Historic Nerd and I have talked about this before, but how we were pretty sure that Hulk Hogan insisted that the android guy like not have a full head of hair. They're like, brother, we got to make this android have a very badly receding hairline.
I was in a band with a guy that, I mean, I'd known him since I was 19, and he was going bald by 20. And he used to go up on stage with a bandana on, and everybody would make fun of him. And he was like, man, I always liked a bandana, and this is my excuse to use it. Like, I don't do it because I'm balding. I don't give a shit. I shave my head. He's like, I like the bandana, and now it's a perfect excuse. I was like, you know, you're like the one guy that definitely would do that anyway, so perfect. Not sure if that's a compliment or not, but, you know.
Definite Lifespan asks, what's your favorite CDI games? I mean, for me, this is
it. Can
It's
you think of a
probably
single
my favorite.
FMV shooter that even comes close to this?
Oh, this is definitely the best FMV shooter.
Oh, Ground
By
Zero
far.
Texas? How awful that fucking game was?
Yeah.
So they sent
I mean, I guess it's a low bar though, right, in the FMV shooter space, but yeah, this is the best one by far.
Was there ever a version of Ground Zero Texas that you could play with a mouse? Because I don't think you could with the Genesis and or I mean, obviously the Sega CD, but all those FMV games were ported to like a million other platforms, I would assume. So that'd be a neat one to
Ground
play.
Zero, yeah, Ground Zero Texas. I feel like it came out on the CDi.
Wait, I also think that came out as a PC remaster recently or something, right? And I was gonna do a live stream, but then I got busy and forgot it existed.
So yeah, it did not come out on CDi, but I think you're right about there being a remaster for Windows. Yep, in 2021 it was released for PlayStation 4 and Windows. But yeah, besides this, I mean, Mutant Rampage Body Slam is all things considered, a pretty decent beat 'em up.
Can't we handle this like adults, Mr. Poop Poop?
So dumb.
That's the best
So
line
dumb.
so far. Oh my god. Dude, the next time we're hanging out, wait till we're in public somewhere where there's a whole lot of people, and then just pretend to get pissed at me, shove me up against the wall, and go, "Say that again, Mr. Poop Poop Pants."
Poop pants.
Just
Gotta do the
make everybody
cadence.
around us uncomfortable. Like, is this real? What's going on? Missed him. How many times am I gonna shoot you?
Yeah, I think you might have already gotten him. Yeah, there you go.
This camera work, like the whole thing, this is, I mean, honestly, this is awesome.
It's really well put together.
And the cheesy dialogue really, really, really freaking grows on you as this goes through.
Yeah.
Little brother, we never thought you could beat him. You're awesome, dude.
Is it me, or does that boss look like an 80s long-haired buff
DQ,
Bob?
buddy.
No, I don't think so.
Chief Thunderhorse said that he looks like the Phantom of the Outhouse.
Man, that was some kind of adventure.
Yeah, man.
Kid, you really came through.
You were awesome, my friend. Oh, and speaking of awesome, I got a hot date. Oh, and you, my partner, promised Jessica all your attention, if I remember correctly.
You got that right. And kid, you can ride with us anytime. Remember, there's always another day in paradise.
Kid, you could murder people with us anytime you want.
Look at this awful farmer
Where have you been
stand.
hiding? We've been looking all over for you.
Come on, you're a hero now. And there's lots of people that want to meet you.
So what's the implication here, Bob, that these women are gonna sleep with 13-year-old JT?
And realistically, right? How's that gonna go? They're gonna take their tops off, and 13-year-old JT is gonna finish
done.
before they even
He's
walk
done.
across the
He's
room.
done. Yeah.
So that was it. I beat it.
You did it. Now you're a real gamer.
Was this a good ending?
Yeah, that's the best ending. The one where JT where it's implied he's gonna have an orgy, yes, that is the best ending.
That is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so I did want to see a couple things, and I also, if anybody out there has a Lucky Luke ISO that they know works, please share. You're not going to be able to post the link in the Discord, or in the chat, but Discord or something will work. You experienced it, Bob. You didn't beat it. Fucking Ian. The only two things about the game, right? Especially for the time that it was made, like the cheesy acting is amazing, knowing that that's what you're getting into. But that shooting scene should have been 2 scenes, or should have been shorter in the beginning. And the ending needed an explosion or something. Like, it shouldn't have just been like you
Oh, I
find the
mean,
guy dead.
I would say JT was on his way to an explosion.
Yeah, this is, you know what? Excellent point.
But yeah. Like, it doesn't quite like pack like a big punch. And I'm sure that there was some footage from the show or something that they could have used, you know, to like spice up the ending or something. But
infinite lifespan. Why are you drinking cohors? I have no idea. I don't. Let me see if it's even from a vineyard. Oh my God! It's a Connecticut wine. I've never tasted Connecticut wine that didn't. Wait, no, imported by a place in Connecticut. The wine of France. Cohors. So there's a sommelier on YouTube that I like. I have no idea. He might be the Adam Corlick of fucking sommeliers, or he might actually just be nobody's talking about. But the one tip that he gave that I really let sink in is you need to pick up a bottle and figure out where the wine comes from. And if it's just like product of America or something, it's probably made of like 10 different skunk barrels to try to get it out the door. It needs to come from an actual vineyard somewhere. And I really, so I took that one to heart. So this one actually tastes pretty good.
nice.
This one of those 20-minute. Oh no, it's already.
Yeah, I never watched these credits.
How
How
dare you disrespect the creators of this iconic game/TV show?
Well, you know, seeing the creators is like looking into the eye of God. Just didn't want to risk it.
So I'm curious what happens when we click show only, because I'm gonna assume
I think it just shows you cutscenes.
Ah, no.
Oh,
See,
nope, you were right.
Told you.
You were right.
And I want to check the other one just for the heck of it. It's funny, calibration of input device. The first time I saw that, I'm like, but I don't have the gun. Like, oh no, that's just a cutscene.
Reconnaissance satellite download in progress.
Yeah, I think it's just like a load scene.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I told you they were just gonna make you play like the the gameplay stuff.
So, let me grab a controller. Oh yeah, the least favorite part.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Hold on. Let me grab a USB controller. I have to put this away. I want to make sure my copy of Thunder in Paradise stays minty fresh. Thanks to 77 for hooking me up again. Much appreciated. All right. So, a couple of controllers here, and this is using that same adapter that I showed off before. Timothy Roller for your next box of Franzia. Thank you so much. I haven't drank boxed wine in a long time. Honest story, the last time I drank a box of wine, I forgot how many bottles were actually in a box. I thought it was like 2 bottles or something. And it was like a holiday, and my little brother was home. Little brother meaning like he's a couple years younger, so don't picture a kid, picture me, but thinner. And
don't picture JT from Thunder in Paradise.
Yeah, but like, and we were like, all right, well, we're gonna finish the bottle then. Screw it, we'll finish the bottle. And we ended up, or finish the box. We legitimately tried to finish a box of wine, and we got so drunk that we got into an argument. But it was one of those drunk arguments where the argument's over, but you forgot the argument was over, so you start from the beginning again. And there was a whole bunch of not wasted people that was all staying over, and my cousin Christina comes out of the back room and just loses her shit. Like, stop fucking arguing! What are you doing? And Mark and I were like, what, dude? We're brothers. Shut up. Alright, so let me power this on and just make sure that this works. Because I tested with one USB controller before and it did not work. I probably should have tested it before today when the person who made it is in Europe, so I probably should have tested it, while they were still awake. Yeah, this one isn't working. Uh-oh. I am getting power. Yeah, nothing. Oop. Let me try one more. And if not, we're gonna have to try to find a game that you can play with a mouse.
You can play every game with a mouse on the CDI, actually.
Well, then I'll try to play Mutant Rampage Body Slam with a mouse, because
that doesn't mean it's going to be a good experience, but yeah, you can play every game on the CDI with any controller. You can play every CDI game with a light gun.
Brendan wants to know if I got the spider situation sorted out. Yes, but it's also winter, so I'm really scared that I might not have actually gotten it as sorted as I thought I would have. So I will be on a spider rampage come summertime, because it was just really funny too, because all of my friends were making fun of me until I showed them the picture of the spider that jumped like 3 feet, hit the wall, and scurried away, and everybody was like, it jumped. That huge thing jumped. So yeah.
Living in Florida, I deal with spiders almost year round, so I'm not a fan.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think this is working. I'm sorry. I should have tested it before the stream. Let me drop the link to the GitHub in here, and maybe smarter people than me could figure out what I'm doing wrong. Nicole, the light gun is the best way to play Zelda CDI. Ugh. USB to CDI. I'm just scrolling through real quick. I'm not gonna like sit here forever. So Magic NS, yeah, Magic NS 1 player. Switch Pro, Switch SNES controller. No,
So Fraggle Rock, I don't know if like yours is using some similar method as the SNES to CDI adapter that I have, but I can tell you that for mine, it'll only work with controllers. It won't work with the Super Nintendo mouse.
Yeah, the person who made this specifically said there's got to be one for each. I'm gonna try one more thing, and then I'll just move on to play with the mouse.
Yeah, Seventh Guest is on the CDI. Myst is on the CDI as well. Yeah, there's a bunch of games like that. Burn Cycles on the CDI. Yeah, so Fraggle, it probably won't work then.
Okay, what is this? USB-C. I'll get one of those here. Kevin Sims. I'm in Louisiana. We have spiders, snakes, all kinds of shit. My neighbor had an alligator under their car the other day. Jeez. Fingers crossed. So these things are all user updatable. So it could very well be that he had pre-flashed it with a very specific controller in mind. And I'm just not remembering and being a moron. So
yeah, maybe like an Xbox One or something.
I was just talking to him this afternoon, because it's like a 7-hour difference. I had, what a moron. I should have just said, hey, hang on, please, while I try the controller adapter.
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, you can play with the mouse. It'll be a little weird, but, a lot weird.
I mean, in all honesty, too, we've certainly proved that his mouse adapter is top tier.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, for sure.
But, they're hand built, but the port right here, that's the same port that you power it on, you could use to update it. So I'm sure that's an easy thing. All right.
Well, while you're getting this set up, I gotta get a beer and run to the restroom, and I cannot wait any longer.
All right, do your thing. I'll work the chat until you get back. Yeah, Seventh Guest is on the CDI, and I haven't had a chance to play it. I did really want to, but I just never got a chance to before I ended up selling it. But you know what? If anybody has, I could try burning the ISO as well. So we'll see. Let me do that, actually. Let me see if I could do that while we're waiting. I'll try another game while that's burning. Historic Nerd prefers the mouse for Hotel Mario. I'd like to mention that I used my CDI for the power of good and raised $500 for Wounded Warrior by punishing myself. I don't think that sounds the way you wanted it to sound, Ian. All right, let's see. Do I have seventh guest for CDI? I do. Okay, sweet. Let me burn that while I try whatever else we got here. That's right. I gotta do the manual fix. Well, at least this is going better than the stream with Artemio the other day. I ended up having to install Windows 7 on the stream in order to finish testing what we were testing, and it was a lot of fun. Loved hanging out with them, but it was kind of funny. All right, we have seventh guest burning, and let's try let's try Mutant Rampage Body Slam, because if Ian could play Hotel Mario with a mouse, I could play this with a mouse. And also keep in mind, I have not tested this CDR yet, so no clue how this is going to go. Funny, I have a Toshiba CRT here right now, and I'm like, I just leaned in and I'm looking at the mask on the tube. I was just thinking of Trash Uncle's latest mask updates, and I'm like, that's pretty fucking accurate, huh? All right. Mutant Rampage Body Slam with a mouse. Fraggle, if you make any of those CDI adapters, let me know. I will. I'll definitely buy one off you. All right. I'll go with the LA Free Radicals. Thanks for the kind words, Shrek Boy. Nicole, install Windows 7 on the CDI. I can't. It's too powerful. Windows would just it would go so fast that you wouldn't even be able to see the screens pop up. I haven't played Seventh Guest in a million years either, but it says 2 minutes and 39 seconds till it's ready. Let's see if Mutant Rampage Body Slam is going to load. It's just kind of sitting here. Is this the loading time on it?
I just realized I've been muted this whole time I've been talking.
That's amazing.
Since I came back. But yeah, this is like way too slow. And I think it would have already played the intro. Oh, wait. But there was like another intro that should have played before you got to choose. Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't think it's going to play. I had like one that I burned do this too a long time ago.
Fuck you, CDI. Your disc is dirty. Well, all these Tayo Yuden CDs I stocked up on are coming in handy, but I've already wasted 4 today. So, not really happy. But there's only like a minute left for Seventh Guest, and I really hope that works, because I remember loving that as a kid, and I don't think I've played it since I was a kid.
I watched I was on somebody's stream, Human Interact stream, like a few months ago, when they were playing it, and it's okay. It wasn't as good as I remembered. That's for sure.
I mean, the context too, right? Cousin Scott and I, like 11, 12 years old, his 486 PC with 4 megs of RAM. We were in awe of how much RAM was in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a blonde chick.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We were in a game.
No, I get it. I get it for the time, it was cool or whatever, but yeah.
Backstreet's back. All right. I'm burning at the slowest speed that this Flex Store burner can handle, but it won't burn at 1x. So it's actually pretty quick. Somebody told me the other day on the stream, Extrems actually, that the Ultra HD Blu-ray player that I have for ripping stuff It happens to be one of the best for ripping and burning old games as well. I was really shocked.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like this one's running fine.
I'm not really a Christmassy kind of guy, so I hope this isn't super annoying. I'm just playing this because the game's got, another minute to burn, so.
I've never seen this game.
This was recommended by the CDI community.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really wanted to play Lucky Luke. It looked like a shooter.
Oh, looks like your disc is damaged or something.
Your disc is damaged. And so, I mean, these are supposedly Tayo Yuden CDs, and I'm burning them at the slowest speed possible. But, yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I said, it's been so long since I had to burn CDI discs myself that I really don't have like any of the ROMs anymore or any of that shit.
I have a redump collection from 2020, so I would assume that it was good enough, but we'll see.
Yeah, and it may just be that this CDI model or player or whatever is just a little finicky with plain burn discs.
Yeah, it could be that if I really wanted to use it, I should go in and turn up the laser just bump a tiny little bit, like an imperceptible amount, to try to see if that'll fix it. Awesome, Fraggle. I'll DM you later on. Thank you very much. So it's just kind of.
Fraggle started making these adapters. He didn't know that he'd be a hero.
Mutant Rampage Body Slam is selling for over. No, there's one that's $80. Is that an $80 game?
Don't pay $80 for it now. I mean, I wouldn't pay $80 for any CDI game. I wouldn't pay $80 for any game, actually.
Seventh Guest CDI for $20. Okay. That would be fair.
But that's crazy that that's what it's going for now, because when I got mine, I want to say I paid like $12 for it, like in 2016, 2017. And there were a bunch of copies on eBay, and that was about what it was going for, like $12, $15. But yeah, I remember like you had seen like a copy of Thunder in Paradise on eBay going for like a crazy amount, like
yeah. So I asked you and I asked everybody in the CDI Discord about that. I was like, is this what they're going for now, or is this the typical some loser loads it up on eBay for $1 million, knowing that no one's gonna pay it, but eventually they all run out of stock and people will make an offer for $100 instead of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it seemed to be.
Yeah.
So what
I will say though,
I mean, CDI stuff in jet.
What's that?
What feature of the CDI is this?
This is it desperately trying to read whatever you burned, sir. It's going to the Atari 2600 emulator.
Yeah, Steve, I really wish
your disc may be dirty. Yeah, there's got to be something with like the laser or something.
Yeah, I mean, it played the retail game absolutely fine, so.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like maybe it's because like the two CDIs that I've had like work pretty well. Maybe you just don't believe. It's like that that scene in Hook where like they're like getting ready to eat, but there's no food on the table, and you have to believe.
No, I
to, like make it happen.
Since I was a kid.
The fuck, Bob? Well, this is the scene where like there's no food, and like once they use their imagination, they believe that's when like food appears. And
as a fat man, I find that offensive because there's so many times that I just wish food would be here, and it's not.
Well, it's the life they were living in Hook.
Okay, so this is a homebrew game created by the same person that created this adapter. But the last time
and
I
this
tried
runs.
It, my CDI. No, wow, okay. I'm playing this with a mouse. Please keep in mind. doesn't like.
I mean, as far as CDI homebrew games go, this is the best looking one I've ever seen so far.
But please, nobody judge this. I am trying to find a way to move this with the mouse, and I'm obviously, this was supposed to be with a controller.
And I will say that all CDI games working with every controller was a requirement of Philips for the developers that made games, and I've run into issues with some homebrew games not working with the mouse either. So I don't know if there's like if that's something you have to like program support in for or whatever, and if you don't, you just don't.
Ian, so Bob, you're gonna need salt and some candles to draw a pentagram around the CDI. It should work after. Oh, that's awful, and I love it so much. Yeah, so this is not the fault of the game. Please do not fault the CDI or the homebrew game for this. All right, so I mean, the point of the stream was amazing. Was that we did it. It was amazing. I absolutely loved it. I'm gonna throw in
Thunder in Paradise was so good, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw in the movie disc or the episode disc just so I can finish my wine. And we could chill out with the chat for another moment or two. We're obviously I don't plan on watching the whole thing, but.
I will say, like, Bob, like, the more you play it, like, you'll start to like see like new scenes. Like, I don't think we got the ones where like either Hulk Hogan's character or the other guy say that JT has hot hands. That's a thing. And the funny thing is, like,
because that's something you say to a child.
Well, you don't yell back door to a child either, but like, hey, that happened as well.
True.
But historically, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's like, I think 3 hot hand comments made, and Hulk Hogan makes 2 of them. One of them he'll say, like, if you're doing well, he'll basically say like, hey, great job out there, you really got the hot hand. But if you're doing shitty, he'll still say you have the hot hand, but he'll just sound like upset with you. And the one with his buddy he's always very excited about your hot hands.
Do you think they were conscious of that when they were making it? Do you think they sounded like a bunch of fucking kid diddling creepers, or do you think they were just trying their best to be a video game character or whatever you want to say?
I think they were just like trying to be like, yeah, like they're talking to you, right? The video game player, even though like, it's to JT, but I think they're trying to say like, you like have a hot hand, like, because you're doing so well playing the game on your CDI controller of choice.
Steve Clinton, if you're burning CDI games, works best with older blank discs, not one that supports 700 megabytes. Yeah, I think that's what these are. They are Taio Udens, though. They are real. Well, so.
But I will say, Bob, like I use like whatever like cheapo like CDs like before, and they've worked fine. And I've used ones that support 700 megabytes, and they still work. In my experience, it's always dependent on the CDI model.
Yeah. I gotta look her up. Did she do anything other than this?
Who?
The only chick in the entire show?
Oh, I just remember in the first episode, like, she basically, like, Hulk Hogan, like, pretends to, like, marry her or marries her to, like, save her hotel or something. I don't know.
Wow, she is still acting and still in stuff.
You know what's crazy though? Like, you were talking earlier about how the game didn't finish like on a big explosion thing, and it should have. Well, we just saw like about 30 different explosions like used throughout the show in that opening. So you would think they would have done it, right?
Yeah. There's a Thunder in Paradise 3 from 1995 and a 2.
So originally Thunder in Paradise was like a TV movie. And then later it got aired as like broken up into 3 different parts.
Okay.
So that's what you're seeing. So, and once the series launched, it's now basically the first 3 episodes.
Okay. So there isn't, if you want to see the entire series, you just watch the TV show. There's nothing else after it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. From what I remember. Yeah. I love how the Empire State Building is in the background, and it's definitely real and not just a cardboard cutout.
Totally not a cardboard cutout. No. She does a lot of French stuff. So she's born in New York. I'm reading on IMDb, obviously. The other biggest movie that she's ever done is Private Parts, the Howard Stern movie, not a porn. And yeah, that was it. She's done a ton of smaller other things though. So she's a working
The way
actress.
this lady in the yellow blouse died. What? Oh, so is the excuse that this is like a training ground?
Look at that hair.
Okay, so I guess those weren't real people.
Well, the testing people were, but who he killed wasn't.
So I don't understand. Like, why are they at this giant like brewery or whatever this is, water plant?
Did you see that documentary about the cult lady whose hair kept getting bigger?
No.
Somebody in the chat has to know what I'm talking about.
Oh wait, are you talking about like on Amazon?
I think so.
Like it's like a 7-part series about like an MLM.
It was the weight loss cult, where it was also she disguised it as a religion, but it was basically just her scam.
Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of a different one.
It was really good. What was yours?
It's fuck. I wish I could remember the name of it. It's like the 7-part series on Amazon. It's actually really good about some like multi-level marketing clothing thing called
LuLaRoe. Yeah, I saw that one. That was
LuLaRoe. Yeah, dude, it's really good. And the best part is like the end of it is a guy, really sassy guy, like randomly like quoting General Martok, a Klingon from Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, The Way Down is what I was thinking of. It's on HBO Max, and it was like, all right. So I hate spoilers with a passion, but this is the opening 30 seconds of the first episode. But basically, it's about a bunch of awful people that manipulate other people. That I'm sorry, we're laughing. That die in a plane crash. So it's like the best ending.
Bob, we're not laughing. You're laughing,
I'm
sir.
laughing.
I'm not getting canceled.
So it's basically like, it's the best payoff of any of these documentaries you've ever seen, because they've destroyed people's lives, they've taken their money, there's a legit cult still happening, and the people running it, like the people who are trying to get their kids out of the cult are like, how are we going to handle this? How are we going to take these people down? And then the plane just crashes and they all died. And it's like, that's amazing. But then the kids of the crazy lady took it over, and now they're even crazier. But
oh my god,
her hair
by the way,
keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as she gets older, and her skirts keep getting shorter and shorter as she's like shaming people for their sexuality. And I'm so baffled as, is it that all of the people around her are so terrified that they just keep saying like, no, you look great, or is it that they're fucking with her because they know that she's crazy, and they're like, your skirt should be shorter because you're the leader of this, and you need to, your hair was big last year, but now we need to go bigger. We need to show people
to go bigger.
If you can fit through a door without turning sideways, your hair is not big enough. Like, that was brilliant.
Man, like I guess this is how 90s shirts were, but like the shirts that they have JT in here, like they don't fit.
I'm wearing a Fuzzy Bear hoodie. I have no idea how to fucking dress, dude. I wouldn't even begin to understand what you mean by that.
No, it's just like too big. Like the line for the shoulders are like almost halfway down his bicep.
So someone told me once that there's different fits of t-shirts, and the reason that I look like weird and square when I wear certain types is because I need to buy a certain fit. And it's not like I love making fat jokes about myself, but I'm not even talking about that. Even the 1 week I was thin, it was still the same thing. And it was that's why like I apparently look better in long sleeves, so I need to get a different cut of t-shirt. And I'm really done with this stuff. I wish there was a RetroRGB for colorblind people that can't dress, because I would just follow whatever somebody told me to buy and then go with it.
Yeah, I mean, all I know is that there's like classic fit, slim fit. I think that's pretty much it, right?
Apparently there's a lot more to it.
But I know what you mean though, because like sometimes I'll get a shirt and I'll be like, why is this shaped like this? Where like maybe the shoulders will be like really like narrow, but then like the rest of the torso is really wide, or it'll be vice versa. I'm like, who is this for? A triangle? You know, like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, why is this in black and white on the stream? I'm looking at it on my monitor. I'm sorry. It's in color on my monitor.
Yeah, it's in black and white for me too.
All right, let me
At first I thought it was like an artistic choice of some sort.
No, all right, so we're on S video. Just try switching inputs real quick. I mean, it makes it look like a classic film when we put it in.
This is very film noir.
That's so interesting. I don't know how it could have done that. I mean, I didn't change any of the connections. Wait, no. It is a loose connector.
Up there for a second there.
Give me a minute. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it. That's what I get for using 25-year-old S-video cables. Sorry, Mike, I'm not misrepresenting your tink. This is actually a monster cable.
Really?
Hold on 1 second, everybody. The audio will still play. The connections on the inside of this cable are fine. So it doesn't need to be resoldered. So...
Clinton Cronin, Hulk Hogan is actually in this game, although now we're just watching the episode that comes with the game and not playing through it. But yeah.
Hey, Clint, what's up, dude? And yeah, we you missed the live stream of the game part, which was pretty awesome.
There you go.
Yeah, but I don't have to hold it like this, though. What if I let it...
Oh.
Son of a bitch. Not the other side, right?
Maybe, well, like you said, you weren't trying to like play the whole thing anyway. It's just not meant to be.
I mean, it can't be a CDI live stream unless something goes horrendously wrong. So let's
Right.
I guess we'll wrap it up in a bit, but well, here's some black and white 90s titties for you. There you go. Congrats, chat. That is illegal. What are you doing going up to somebody just taking a picture of them like that?
He doesn't care. He's been on step by step and it's gone to his head. Yeah, imagine like somebody just doing this.
I mean, that's definitely
I mean, if he was like 6 years old, maybe he could get away with it. Oh, there's Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Because that's why he was in the credits earlier. You know, there's a lot of things you can say about Hulk Hogan that are not too positive, but I will say he did consistently try to get his friends work.
Yeah.
You know, so there's that. See, I see his friend has been skipping leg day a lot.
I gotta force myself to freaking do something at a gym at some point. Which, it's funny though, I went on a hike the other day with a bunch of friends, and I made a wise ass joke, like, hope y'all could keep up, and they thought I was just being silly like I normally am. They thought I was making like a fat joke against myself, and I had to keep stopping to wait for them to keep up. And like, it got to the point where I'd have to walk ahead and then turn around and walk back behind them and then walk, like, I'm not trying to say I'm in good shape or anything. I'm not nearly as bad shape as you would think I am by looking at me.
It's the power of like hoisting those CRTs.
I genuinely think it is. Even the other day, like a friend of mine came over who's, you know, arms like this, just a big dude, like shorter than me, but giant arms. And we were carrying this huge piece of furniture, and I was like, hey, I know this sucks. Make sure to grab it underneath the bottom, like brace yourself. And I was like, I'll go down the stairs first so I could hold it up over my head so you don't have to reach down. And I get 3 stairs down, and he's like, we got to put it down. I can't do it. And like, I was trying to be polite because he's obviously doing me a favor coming over my house. But
sure,
I'm looking around the side of the piece of furniture at his big arm, like, are you fucking serious? I thought you could lift me and the piece of furniture. What are you? So yeah, I ended up dragging it down the stairs on a dolly myself.
Damn. Yeah, so I guess they shot a lot of this stuff, like obviously at the same time they were shooting the stuff for the game. A lot of the same areas. Same clothes.
So something pretty funny. Last time we did this stream, I couldn't figure out why, because if I remember correctly, I had the Tink 5X, but I couldn't say that I had it. So I tried to get everything through with the motion adaptive deinterlacing, and as soon as I plugged in the CDI, the deinterlacing options disappeared, and I thought it was a bug. And turns out it was John Linneman and Audie Sorley that taught me that all CDI games are 240p. This is not a 480i FMV scene. The whole entire game is in 240p, which is why there's obviously not a need to deinterlace it. So the prototype Tink was perfect. I just didn't realize. I just assumed all of these would be in 480i, but nope.
Man, this video looks like, obviously right now it's in black and white, but like some of the CDI video, man, especially considering it's in 240, looks really good.
Yeah, even on this, 13-inch CRT that I'm looking at here, like it looks really good. And I think it's because it's progressive scan and the fact that it's low res, like you don't really notice as much on here, but it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Historic nerd, guy only works the glamour muscles, doesn't work his CRT core.
Exactly.
Kundin, yes, this is a different CDI system. I had 2 top loading ones on the last one. One of them in every game and every accessory went to a very good friend of mine, and the other one went to Tianfong, which, pretty funny. I was talking to him about how to create a custom power supply for the top loading CDIs, and he was like, "Oh man, that's a lot of work. I'm not gonna have to. I would never want to deal with that unless I got one." So he asked me to send him something small, something that could fit in like a mailer. So I put a box together with a bunch of stuff, and I included the top loading CDI with no accessories and no power. And he's like, "Holy shit, did you send this to me for free?" I'm like, "Joke's on you, bitch. Now you're going to design a power supply if you want to use it." So I think he worked on it. I think he figured out some stuff. And there was like a very weird thing where there was some logic in the original power supply for it. So I'm sure they'll swing back around, and I'm sure he'll finish that at some point. But yeah. That one cracked me up. I'll get him hooked up with the CRT or the CDI Discord, and we'll finish that. But yeah, my friend Justin, aka Goodwill Hunter, had a front-loading version that, according to my friends on the CDI Discord, this is a good version of the console. It's not a known like finicky one. Obviously, we had problems with the laser with CDRs, but that's fair. Especially for a 30-year-old console.
Yeah.
And this is 100% stock, because I decided that with my favorite consoles, I want original and modded. And for ones that I like, but they're not my absolute favorites, I want
No. You just said
stock.
the CDI is one of your favorite consoles. We got it.
100% stock.
And that's the clip, everybody.
Yeah.
Cut it. Make the clip.
And on top of that too, it's, as you could all have seen, not now in the black and white thing, but before when we did the actual stream, you could see how clear this thing was through the RetroTink 5X. So there really was no need to RGB mod it. And the main reason for RGB modding something like this, and same thing with the 3DO, I'm getting a front-loading one from Japan. Jimmy Hoppa hooked me up with, love Jimmy, and he I'm not having it RGB modded. I just want to use S-Video, but he hooked me up with one of the ones that has the 240p switch, which is really important. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with completely stock ones for those. The only stuff like that I wouldn't is stuff that's composite only. But stuff that has S-Video, it just looks so freaking good. I wouldn't bother.
Yeah.
If you like at home have your setups, the number one reason to RGB mod something like this, let's say you get a G-SCART switch. You have 7 consoles that are all RGB SCART and 1 that's S-Video. Take the time. It's a simple RGB mod on the front-loading CDIs, on the ones that weigh 1 million pounds. That's a very easy mod, so just do that, and that way everything goes through the same switch. Those hot dogs always looked like they've retired after a hard life. Was there a hot dog scene that I missed?
I don't know.
They're gonna digitize his thoughts. We'll be able to see them on the screen before they're input into the major.
Neuralink transfer is ready for digitization.
I mean, this is also an NTSC CDI and the I mean, which in the versions of the games just play on whatever console you have, but this is printed in the US. This is the US version of it. Warning for realistic violence on the back, by the way. But so there's no reason why it should be an S video, but I'm sure it's just the cable that I'm using. It's a old cable that I got from a friend, so. All right, before we go, any questions for Yahel or I? Any questions about the greatest FMV game ever made? Or Hulk Hogan or anything else?
Yeah, I don't want to answer any questions about Hulk Hogan, but
Do you ever question yourself when eating hot dogs? Yeah, every time I eat a hot dog, I know it's in them. I don't even like them all that much, but sometimes it's just the easiest thing to cook.
yeah, I'm kind of the same way with hot dogs.
And it lasts forever. You put that shit in the freezer. You run out of food, you need to cook something, fire up the grill, just put a frozen dog right on the grill, just give it an extra time to cook. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not the greatest endorsement of them, but yeah, they're convenient.
Joe Higashi, who's next in your interview queue? I don't usually like to say that, but it's already recorded. So, Chris from Displaced Gamers, Monday, or Sunday if you're a Patreon subscriber. But yeah, it's I've been buddies with him for a while, and I'm just trying to get back and interview and do the podcast with all of my friends and all the people I really like, respect and want to promote in the scene. I just I just haven't gotten around to it, which is why I'm really making the push.
Nice.
Revenge Nerd, I buy Polish sausage a lot, basically like amazing hot dogs. Had one the other day with cheese inside. Yeah, sausage is different. Sausage is the classy rich man's version of a hot dog, so.
Historic Nerd, I suppose is better than eating hot hands. Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if if this can get if it can top that.
Yeah, I think we should end it on that.
Didn't get to see the hot hands.
I think that's the greatest comment. I think that's where we have to end it. Ian being super creepy. Love you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Yahel. I couldn't and wouldn't have done a CDI stream without you. This was an absolute blast.
Oh, thank you for revisiting it and admitting your love and passion for the CDI. That it's one of your favorite consoles.
I love the game.
It was heavily implied, and that's how this will be remembered. Great, thanks.
Yeah, great, wonderful, love it.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, and thank you all for watching. Thank you, of course, for the super chats. That was all very grateful for those. I appreciate it. It's all going to more Tayo Yuden CDs because I wasted them all trying to get them working on this stupid CDI. And yeah, this was awesome. This was exactly what I hoped for. So thank you all very much. And hopefully we'll do something